Hello and welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com. As always, joined by the head coach of the Hofstra Pride baseball team, John Russo. Coach, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Great to be here. Let's go into it from last week, a 2-2 week, a win out on the road at Manhattan, and then a 1-2 weekend at James Madison. To start with Manhattan, a nice, tidy win.
Yeah, exactly. We went on the road, got a nice pitching performance by the whole group of pitchers that threw that day, and was able to hold down the fort, and then got a big double to start things by Alex Sitka, and then Jimmy Joyce had a nice home run in that game, and I think I can't remember back whoever Morash I think got a single, and just had a good solid win. I don't think we played our great baseball that day, but that's what you get in the midweek, and got a nice start from Stephen Bosch, and then I remember Matt Seidem came in and had 2 1/3, I think, really scoreless innings, and then Daniel Page closed it down for the save. But yeah, it feels about a month ago after this battle this weekend.
All right, you mentioned the battle this weekend. Last week we talked about going to JMU, the #1 pitching staff in the league, and really, aside for the that middle game of the series, the pitching really wasn't at the forefront. You drop in the opener 8-6. Really, 2-3 run innings for us. Just couldn't hold them down from scoring, especially in those middle innings. I think they put up 5 runs in the from the 4th to the 6th inning. What did you see on that opening night?
Just a typical Friday night CAA game. They had a really nice starter that as good as anybody in the league, and Jack Jett I thought had really good stuff. Looking back on it, I kidded with Jack just yesterday that he might have thrown too many strikes in that start. They hit him a little bit more than teams have hit him in the past, and he had really good stuff and was in the zone. And Jimmy came in, and I thought Jimmy pitched really, really well. He just one bad break. He had an 0-2 out home run that he gave up down the line. That's probably not a home run on most days, but the wind was blowing out to right, and caught a really bad break with that. We got a big clutch 3-run homer from Vito Friscia that kind of set the tone, I thought, on the weekend he was going to have, and he really delivered. And we were right there. I mean, we got first and third with Robbie Weishauer up. We were thinking, hey, another home run here to put us ahead, and got called out on a really, really, really tough strike 3 call. And still not happy about it today, but we lived with it and moved on to Saturday.
Saturday, battle back and forth game, I should say. Go into that, took the later innings up, give up the lead, and then in the bottom of the 9th inning, load the bases for Jamie. Jamie loads the bases, and then hit by pitch for the walk-off win for JMU. Obviously, you get the strategy, but tough way to lose that game.
That game was tough. First it starts with Ryan Rue, who gave us 5 really, really good innings, and then we got the lead there 2-1, I believe it was, and had a chance to go a little bit more in that inning. We weren't able to get a couple more runs. Then that next inning had 1 out. We lost the ball in the lights in the outfield that caused a double, and then they tied it up with a double. Monday had to get out of some trouble. Then Jack Anderson came in, didn't have his best stuff in the 8th, and gives up a run, but I thought Daniel Page did a great job of coming in and holding it there. And then in the 9th, we get a double from Parker Quinn, and then another double from Ryan Morash to tie the game. And we found out after the game it was the first back-to-back hits their closer had given up on this season. And so, we just stayed right there to battle. We weren't able to get around. I think we loaded the bases there in the 9th and weren't able to score another run. And then in the 9th, guy got a really, chink hit off the end of the bat right past the pitcher that rolled into second. That started the inning, then they get a single. I decided to walk Novak, their 3-hole hitter, to pitch to 4-hole. 4-hole was a pinch hitter from earlier in the game. I put Daniel in a really, really, really tough spot. And so at the end of the day, everything falls back on me. Daniel went out there and competed and just caught a bad break. It nicked the guy coming in, and tough way to lose a game. And like I told the team the next day, coaches will say stuff like, I wouldn't change my mind. I wouldn't have done anything different. Well, I think that's dumb. I would have done anything different for that not to be the outcome. But at the time it happened, I thought it was the right call, and just a really tough way. And I was really worried about how we were going to respond on Sunday. And we talked about it in the morning, and we just didn't have time to sit back and feel bad for ourselves.
Well, obviously you responded well. You come out in game 3, the first inning, you score 6 runs, the most in an inning this season, and you go on to a 10-5 win. It was a little interesting. You had to pull away late. You get another 3-run inning in I think the 6th to really ice it. But again, Vito Freesia, big hits, really big hits up and down the lineup on Sunday. Tyler White, give you his first home run of the season. Just guys contributing up and down. So you got to be happy to escape Harrisonburg with that win on Sunday.
I feel bad for Vito. I think if we win 2-3 on the weekend, he's the CAA Player of the Week, and they put a lot of that into team stuff. But at the end of the day, it's the Player of the Week. If Vito was the best player, he should be the best player. And he had a home run 400 feet there in the first inning down the dead center. And I just don't think JMU had any answer for what Vito was doing at the plate. And not only is he doing it at the plate, he's doing it against the best pitching staff in the CAA. So if he's putting up a 450-point week and 2 homers and 7 ribbies on the best pitching staff in the CAA, that should be, that should be batter of the week in my eyes. I don't know, but then right after that we get a couple big knocks, and Costello hadn't played that much of late and gets a big double, and then right after that Tyler White gets the home run to right field. And Tyler's had some really good success at JMU. His first career home run was a Sunday wearing the flannels with the white pants. Other way for a home run, we're wearing the white pants, the flannel, JMU Sunday, and hits another home run. So Tyler's a big believer in history, and so am I. And so he repeated history, and really proud of him. Had a bunch of good at bats that day. But I just think Sunday was a character win. It was we just showed what kind of character we had. We came out early in the morning. Got the 6 early, were able to hold on, and then just gutted it out. Jack Anderson, a big 4 in the 3rd innings of relief. Seamus getting out of a tough bases loaded jam in the inning. He gets a strikeout to end the inning, and just really great relief performance by them. And I want to compliment Jack Anderson real quick. I got Jack up on Friday when we got the game 8-6. He pitched in Saturday's game, and then he went 4 1/3 for us on Sunday, and it's a lot to ask a kid to do. Even though he didn't pitch in 3 games, he basically did throw in 3 games, and big character, and that's our team right now. We just have great character up and down the club. It doesn't matter who's in the game right now. We've won 7 of 9 in 5 of our last 7 in conference, and feel pretty good about where we're at right now.
All right, that brings us to this weekend. League leading Elon comes to Hempstead. They're 27-19, 16-2 in the league. What kind of what tall task are the Phoenix this weekend?
Well, I'll sum it up this way: we're reserving about the 5 rows and behind home plate for all the scouts that are going to be here for this weekend. Friday night guys, All-American Team USA guy that led the country in strikeouts last year and has been as good as there is in the league in the CAA since his freshman year. Their Saturday guy is going to be a second round pick and a New York native that was drafted out of high school. That's going to get it up there, 95, 96. And then they have a lefty just for giggles on Saturday that's 90, 93, and 6-3 on the season. And then when they get past those 3, you get into a reliever that's 90, 93, and then you get to their closer Adcock that is 95 to 98 and touched 100 this season. So it's definitely not going to be an easy task. Elon's 16-2, leading the conference for a reason. And then they got some good hitting. It's going to be a tall task, but listen, here's the deal. It's the CAA. We know what we signed up for, and part of our favorite thing about this league is that every weekend is sort of must-watch TV. And, for Long Island to have, somebody as good as Elon coming up here, Wilmington to come up here, see Hofstra battle like we do, they should really appreciate it and get a chance to see some good baseball if they want to come watch Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All right, like you said, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at home versus Elon. You can check the schedule at GoHofstra.com, and you've been watching the W. Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com.